Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review for the Velocifire VM90 RGB mechanical keyboard. So I'd like to thank Velocifire for actually sending me this out for review. It can be found on Amazon.co.uk for £90 and on Amazon USA for $119. Now this comes in two variants, or actually should I say four variants. You've got the UK keyboard layout and a US layout. So the one I've got in front of me is the UK layout. You've also got the blue clicky switches or the black linear switches. Just to mention, this is running on the Kailh switch. It's not running on Cherry MX switches. So the Kailh switch is the switch which is actually used by Razer in their mechanical keyboards. They just rebrand it as a Razer keyboard. But what I'm just trying to say over here, this is a fully mechanical keyboard, a fully mechanical backlit keyboard by Kailh, and the company isn't trying to hide what the mechanical switch is. It's actually saying this is the keyboard switch that's inside. You know, we're not actually trying to OEM anything. It's an original keyboard switch, which is fantastic to see from a company actually doing this and actually advertising as it. Now the keyboard is terminated by a USB cable. Now that might not seem too interesting, but it's got a braided cable and it's got an extra USB, and the extra USB basically is used for the USB port over here on the right hand side, which is essentially useful for flash drives or any mice that you want to plug in. So you'll have two USB inputs. You only have to use one of them in order to have the keyboard to actually work. So there you go. You've also got some keyboard risers, which are always useful, and you've got soft rubber bits over here. Now what's really interesting about the build quality of the keyboard is actually its wrist rests, just simply because it's so clever. Now it's got some magnets both on here and on the keyboard, meaning it just slots into place and stays there. Now to come off, obviously it's very simple, and if you do lift the keyboard it's going to stay there, but if you start moving it around, gravity is just going to pull it down and it's going to come out. But the fact it's used by magnets mean that it's really easy just to quickly take off and put back if you so wish. Like for example, if you're doing some cleaning, you want to quickly clean this and put this back. Very cool. I love the design, it's fantastic, and I haven't even seen it in any other mechanical keyboard made by any of the major manufacturers. It has got a real simple dent over here, which basically makes it slot in over here. So it's just very simple, and it feels almost like a Apple Lightning cable that you just plug in and it just charges your phone, rather than fiddling with a micro USB cable. So those that actually use things that with magnets, you'll find it actually being really cool. Now the actual build quality of the keyboard is very nice as well. It is made out of plastic as far as I can tell, but it looks like metal just due to its finish, and it's kind of like a should I say gunmetal look to it. It's really beautiful to look at, and I would say it's one of the best built keyboards I've ever come across, be it from cheap manufacturers to very expensive £150, £200 mechanical keyboards. Now I should mention also with the build quality is what you get within the box. Of course you got the keyboard, the wrist rest, you got a manual, but what I love is that they've actually had a few keycaps included as well, which you can see I've replaced with the red ones over here. Normally these are the arrow key ones, but I've actually put them for WSD and they work fantastically in that position as well. And you've got the FN key, which is very useful, which I'll get into a bit. And you've got a key puller, which is fantastic. The reason why this is so good is because you can clean your mechanical keyboard very easily by taking out the keys, and also if you wish to change the keys, you can do so. Now speaking about the keys, I found them to be really well built, which is kind of surprising because they're quite light. They felt like they felt as light as the Logitech G710 Plus keys, which are not well built at all, but these ones feel really solidly built, and I'm very much impressed with them. Now you can see that it's made out of just solid plastic, and in terms of the actual keyboard flex, the key caps flex, there is none. I felt that when I was typing really fast, I didn't feel the keys wobbling at all. I felt them being really solid. And also the fact that you're using Kailh switches means that you can put Cherry MX keycaps on top. So for example, if you've got a keycap, a specific keycap you would want to put, you can quickly replace that because it uses the same sort of stem type. So that's really good and always useful for in terms of customization. Now, as you can see, the keyboard is fully backlit. You can change it via the whole array of options. Now, if you press FN key over here, you've got F1 to basically F11, which allows you to change the keys, and F12 to customize the color. So if I just go through them, you can see you've got certain game profile ones over here, which again you can customize, and there's also software which allows you to customize as well. F5, for example, F6 brings in the wave mode, and you can customize how fast or slow that goes by hitting the arrow keys and going left or right in terms of which way they're going, up or down if you so wish even. Let's just go left or right, and then you can increase the intensity of how quick they flash, and then bring it right down as well. Then you've got a random mode, which basically lights up keys every now and then with different colors. You've got key press mode, which basically each time you press something makes like a sort of wave, which is really cool and nice to look at. Then you've got F10, which basically is different sort of illuminations which come on and off, so with different sort of preset colors. And F11 is your bog standard colors, which I actually use the keyboard mainly in its white format just because I'm used to it. Then you've got F12, which you can customize through different profiles, and then you've got game mode options over here as well, which you can use, and you've got the intensity of how bright it is via the plus and minus keys over here, which essentially you just hold down and it's going to adjust the brightness of the keyboard. So as you can see, in terms of color options, you've got everything, especially with those RGB mechanical keyboard switches. It allows you unlimited customizability, even if that's a word. And through the actual software, you can actually change the colors, the intensity, the brightness, and in fact, you can change every single key over here to whatever you wish. You can make every key over here a macro key if you so wish. So if you're playing some RTS games, you can do that if you wish, and that is fantastic. The fact that you can do that with every key, not a single set of keys, but every key, is great inclusion. What's quite interesting, you can also even change the reporting rate from 1,000 hertz to all the way down to 125 hertz. And on top of that, you can even change the response time of the key switches. So each time you press on it, how fast does it react on your operating system, in my case Windows. That sort of customization is something you don't normally see in any keyboard manufacturer, and I love the fact that Velocifire have actually included all those customizations, meaning it's not just aimed for people who want to casually get a gaming keyboard. It's one that wants to fully customize their own personal keyboard, and I love that. I really do like that, and this is the reason why I chose to make a video, because I initially started out with only an Amazon review, but then because I found the keyboard so impressive, I thought to actually make a video about it. Now, in terms of the key switches themselves, they feel fantastic. Now, I'm normally not a fan of Kailh switches because they're cheap knockoffs of the Cherry MX switches, which are right over here. So you've got the MX Blue over here, but that said, with these key caps on top and the actual manufacturing of them and how they sit on this board, I am very surprised to say that there is no sort of problem that I noted and no sort of cheap feel to it. It just feels really good. It feels like almost like a Cherry MX Blue. Now, the actuation force of Cherry MX Blues is 50 grams, whereas these are 60 grams, so a slightly heavier touch when typing. So obviously they are quite loud, and I'm going to go silent now so you guys can hear me type on it. So hopefully you could hear the difference. What I had in my hand is a Cherry MX Blue, which I was typing on or pressing on, and over here was obviously the Kailh Blue switch. So hopefully you heard a comparison. So as I said, it feels great for gaming. It's a great switch. For typing, it's fantastic, but you must make sure that you like the clicky nature and the sound of it, and your neighbors or your friends and family in your house are not going to mind you rapidly like typing away on it, because it is a loud keyboard. So do bear that in mind. apart from that, guys, I must say I totally recommend the keyboard. I wouldn't normally make a video on this, but just because it's so versatile and does everything that I would expect a mechanical keyboard to do, I must say I'm incredibly impressed. It's almost a 10 out of 10 keyboard. It's pretty much that way, let's put it that way. So anyway, guys, I've been totally dubbed. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, and share for more. And yeah, just let me know in your comments below what you think of the keyboard, if you've got it or not. Alright guys, I've been totally dubbed. Take care and bye bye.